This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. A busy weekend of stakes racing action from around the country just completed, and we're going to begin looking back at Gulfstream's running of the Gailey last Friday afternoon. Unfortunately, weather conditions were not particularly pleasant and led to this race coming off the turf. This is a $65,000 event for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/8 off the turf run on the main track last Friday. Let's head down to Gulfstream for the running of the Gailey.
They're at the post. They're off. Sellers, Shiraz, and She's Vested break sharply and go for the front. Wicklow Miracle and Redoubled Miss away 3rd and 4th. Bells for Marlin and Great Scenario are next, and the early trailer is Swinging Gate. Sellers, Shiraz joined on the front end now by Great Scenario, and so Great Scenario comes to put pressure on the favorite, Sellers, Shiraz, early. Bells for Marlin, Wicklow Miracle, and She's Vested now in the second flight. Then it's 2 lengths further back to Swinging Gate. Redoubled Miss is now at the back of the 7-horse field as they head to the back stretch. Sellers, Shiraz, and Great Scenario 1-2. Sellers, Shiraz, 3/4 of a length. Great Scenario is second by 1 1/4 with She's Vested at the rail. Here's an early move from Redoubled Miss, and Val's got her into gear. Redoubled Miss now 4th and 4 from the front. Just inside of her, it's Bells for Marlin. Wicklow Miracle is 6th now. She's 6 off the lead, and the trailer is Swinging Gate. They're midway on the backstretch in the 4th running of the Gailey Stakes. Sellers, Shiraz now at the half-mile pole, leads by just a length. The rail is open for She's Vested, and here she comes on through. She's Vested is now head-and-head with Sellers, Shiraz. Redoubled Miss is 3rd and 2 from the front, but she's pushed along, and Sellers, Shiraz, and She's Vested now get away 3 furlongs from the wire. Redoubled Miss going to have to re-rally. She's now 3 lengths from the lead. Then comes Swinging Gate and Wicklow Miracle. Bells for Marlin has dropped back to second to last. Great Scenario is the trailer, and Sellers, Shiraz is back in front clear. She's Vested took a run leaving the backstretch, but now Pat Day and Sellers, Shiraz settle into the lane in front by 3 lengths. She's Vested is second. Swinging Gate and Redoubled Miss 3rd and 4th, and Sellers, Shiraz comes to the final furlong, and she is straight and strong and the winner of the Gailey. Sellers, Shiraz levels out beautifully. She's Vested simply second best. Swinging Gate next. Sellers, Shiraz. Sellers, Shiraz won by 5.5 lengths. She's Vested was second. Maybe Bells for Marlin in the final strides over Swinging Gate for 3rd.
Sellers, Shiraz picking up her 2nd consecutive victory, this time as the favorite at 2-1. Nice effort on the front end, easily easing away under Pat Day from She's Vested and Bells for Marlin late in the going. Pat Day, who was going to have a pretty good weekend down at Gulfstream Park this past weekend. Gailey is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Kiss and Chris from Sellers Best by Band Practice, bred in Florida by Bitterroot Racing Stable, owned by Bitterroot Investments and trained by Bill Chazar. Ridden to victory by Pat Day, Sellers, Shiraz completes the 1 1/8 on the main track in 1:51 and 3. We're going to continue with Gulfstream Stakes racing action for Saturday's running of the Rampart. Grade 2, $200,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going 1 1/8. We've got an interesting matchup here. We've got the streaking Summer Colony taking on Forest Secrets, who was an absolute monster early last year, came back to the races late in the fall, picked up a very nice win, and now returns to the track once more. Let's head down to Gulfstream for the running of the Rampart.
They're off. Good start. Lily's Affair, Summer Colony, and Forest Secrets to the middle of the track. These 3 show the most speed. Happily Unbridled a close 4th. Unbridled Waters is taken back off the pace by Jerry Bailey, and the early trailer is Castlebrook. 3 of them line up into the clubhouse turn. Summer Colony a neck in front. Forest Secrets 3 deep. Lily's Affair now at the rail, and Summer Colony a short lead. Unbridled Waters just in behind the leader. She wants to go. Bailey wants her to sit right where she is, 4th and 2 from the front. Then comes Happily Unbridled, 6 lengths back to Castlebrook as they turn into the back stretch. It is Summer Colony going for 7 wins in a row. She is 3/4 of a length in front of Forest Secrets, who tracks in second. Lily's Affair is asked to stay with the front runners by Eduardo Nunez. She's at the rail in 2 from the front. Unbridled Waters continues to tug. She is closer now, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Happily Unbridled has 5 to come, 5 lengths back to Castlebrook. They're at the half-mile pole in the 23rd. Rampart Handicap and the 2 favorites hook up going into the far turn. Summer Colony and Forest Secrets. Summer Colony still a neck in front. Forest Secrets is second. Unbridled Waters now comes with her run. She's 2.5 lengths off the lead, but the top 2 get away going to the quarter pole. Then it's Happily Unbridled. Lily's Affair drops out of it. Castlebrook still 10 from the front, and they are even at the quarter-mile marker. Summer Colony and John Velasquez. Pat Day and Forest Secrets, and they match strides. 3.5 lengths to Happily Unbridled, who moves through inside of Unbridled Waters. Castlebrook is next. They come to the final furlong, and Forest Secrets has taken over the lead. Forest Secrets, Summer Colony is left back in second, and Forest Secrets comes to the 16th pole in the Rampart, and she's 3 in front. Summer Colony is second. Happily Unbridled is third. It's Forest Secrets in front.
Forest Secrets and Pat Day picking up a nice win. Summer Colony, who has shown very good speed in most of her races, last time out did rate from just off the pace in the La Cañada, picking up a nice win on the West Coast, but this time ends up on the lead. Forest Secrets never far off of her and makes a huge move to win by 3 lengths. Summer Colony 2 lengths the better of Happily Unbridled to finish in the second spot as that filly rallied into the third spot at 28-1. The winner, Forest Secrets, last year's Acorn winner, a 4-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Forest Wildcat from Garden Secrets by Time for a Change, was bred in Kentucky by William Patterson and James Glenn. I had a cousin by the name of James Glenn. Owned by Debbie Oxley, trained by John Ward, and ridden to victory by Pat Day. Forest Secrets completes the mile and an eighth of the Rampart Handicap in 1:49.4. Next, we're heading back down to Gulfstream Park for a $100,000 race, the Suwannee River, a grade 3 for 3-year-olds and up. Fillies and mares, this time on the turf, going a mile and an eighth. Let's head back to Gulfstream now for the running of Sunday's Suwannee River.
They're up. Salty U and Tap Dance break 1-2. Snow Dance is close up. Delirio into the bid early. These 4 show the most speed. Step with Style breaks in 5th, and Windsong just outside of her. 3 of them line up as they hook up with the main course, and Salty U and Tap Dance are 1-2. Snow Dance is sharp in the early running, and these 3 match strides, Salty U and Tap Dance even with 1 lap to go. Delirio will do her running from off the pace today. She's 4th and 3 from the lead. Windsong just inside of her, and Step with Style is the trailer as they turn into the backstretch. It is Salty U and Tap Dance 1-2. Salty U leads just by a half length. Tap Dance is traveling comfortably for Jerry Bailey, as is Snow Dance, the big favorite for Pat Day. She's 2 from the front. Windsong is close to the pace today. That tells us they're going not that fast on the front end, and Windsong is just inside of Snow Dance, 2 from the front. Delirio is a tugging 5th now. She's 3.5 lengths from the leader, and Step with Style is the trailer 6th and last at the half-mile pole of the 53rd. Suwannee River Handicap, Salty U and Tap Dance still 1-2. Salty U leads by a neck. Tap Dance right alongside and now closer, and Jerry Bailey and Tap Dance come calling to challenge for the lead. Windsong and Snow Dance still in with good chances. Snow Dance is only 1.25 lengths from the lead. Then comes Delirio. Step with Style is the trailer, and they head for home. Salty U and Tap Dance are even at the top of the stretch. Tap Dance narrowly in front. Here comes Snow Dance with her run, and Snow Dance makes her move outside of Tap Dance. Windsong and Step with Style are also there. Step with Style now 2 from the front. Snow Dance, Salty U and Tap Dance, and Snow Dance has the lead. Now Step with Style is up into second, and Windsong, but Snow Dance leads. Step with Style and Windsong second and third. Snow Dance, Step with Style, Snow Dance. The 53rd Suwannee River Handicap goes to Snow Dance. She beat Step with Style by a half length. Windsong finished third.
Snow Dance has really continued to develop very nicely. Her first try against older horses was a very good effort. Just losing this time, comes in with a nice victory. Sitting off the pace, she was a little bit speed crazed in the early part of her career, but has now shown a new dimension and ability to settle nicely, stalking the pace and ending up with a 3/4 length victory, taking over in the stretch and prevailing over Step with Style, who rallied from far back off the pace. Windsong also rallying from well back off the pace into the third spot. The winner, Snow Dance, is a Grayer Roan 4-year-old daughter of Forest Wildcat, who had a pair of winners down at Gulfstream this weekend out of Northern Pageant by Spectacular Bid. She was bred in Kentucky by Aspiration Stable, owned by John Oxley, trained by John Ward. Another combination having a terrific weekend at Gulfstream Park. Snow Dance completes the 1 1/8 on the turf course in the Swanee River in 1:49 flat. Next, we're going to be heading to Laurel for a Maryland-bred stakes race, the Deputed Testimony on Saturday. $75,000 on offer for 3-year-olds going 1 1/16. Let's head down to Laurel now for the running of the Deputed Testimony.
And they're off. There goes the filly. Touch Love on the inside from Root with Style and Majestic Sir, followed by Magic Wisner, who's going to settle, take it over inside. And trailing the field, we have Invent, and 6 lengths covers them into the first turn. Touch Love, Root with Style right alongside of that one, and Majestic Sir going to rate off the leaders in third, and Magic Wisner is a tracking fourth. The pace solid, though, with 7/8 of a mile to go, and Invent trails the field as they move around the first turn. Leading the way out there, goes Root with Style, who takes the lead from the filly. Touch Love, who's now angled outside second. Majestic Sir is in third. Magic Wisner is next in fourth. They slow the pace just a bit now, and Invent trails the field. 6 lengths covers a bunch of them in the Deputed Testimony. Root with Style up front from Touch Love second, Majestic Sir, and Magic Wisner pinned down inside, racing fourth, 3.5 off the lead, and Invent trails the field as they race for the far turn with just about 4 furlongs to go. Root with Style, Touch Love, rebids on the outside, Majestic Sir out there 3 deep, and Magic Wisner's kept close to the pace there, and trailing the field is Invent. Into the far turn, Root with Style has Touch Love back at that one, and Majestic Sir 3 deep with a winning chance too. Magic Wisner with a perfect shot, 2.5 lengths off the lead, and Invent is last but not out of it either. Moving to the 5/16 pole, anybody's race. Root with Style, Touch Love, Majestic Sir, Magic Wisner right behind the trio. Invent ready to pounce Extreme outside, but gotta go wide as they turn for home now. And it's Majestic Sir, Extreme outside. Invent makes a solid move on the far outside. Touch Love, the filly, trying to stick with him. Root with Style and Magic Wisner has a miracle split between. Here comes Magic Wisner with a magical opening in between horses to take the lead with a furlong to go. Magic Wisner, no magic about it. Magic Wisner loves to win. Magic Wisner pulling away with authority to win in the Deputed Testimony by 2. Invent was second, and Root with Style, and Majestic Sir and Touch Love.
Magic Wisner and Phil Teeter picking up a nice win here, as the second choice in the wagering. Favorite in this field was a filly taking on Colts. Touch Love, who fell out of the gate in her first start this season and lost her rider in that incident, obviously instantly disqualified, comes back here and goes off as the odds-on choice against males, and showed some good speed, ended up weakening and finishing last in the short field of 5, but Magic Wisner rallies after a bit of a bumpy beginning. Very nice effort, length and 3/4 victory over Invent, who rallied from far off the pace. Root with Style, who was out there in the early going, held on nicely for the 3rd spot. The winner, Magic Wisner, is a 3-year-old bay colt, a son of Amera Valet from Jazima by Bold Forbes, bred in Maryland by Nancy H. Alberts, owned by Nancy H. Alberts, and trained by Nancy H. Alberts. Ridden to victory by Phil Teeter, Magic Wisner completes the 1 1/16 of the Deputed Testimony in 1:44 and 4. Next, we're going to be heading to the fairgrounds for a pair of stakes races this past weekend, beginning with the Bayou Breeders' Cup Handicap, $150,000, 4-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8. Again, unfortunately, weather conditions were not particularly favorable at the New Orleans racetrack. This race comes off of the turf. Let's head down to New Orleans now for the running of the Bayou Breeders' Cup.
Racing. Pretty Gale is well away with Katie Cat. Tabianca showing dash down the outside, followed by Lady of Peace inside Tamise, and the Great True Ruby drops out 2 lengths last. The leader is Pretty Gale with a circuit to go. By 1 length to Tabianca, Katie Cat third towards the inside. 2.5 to Lady of Peace, followed by Tamise, and 3 off last is True Ruby. Working through the first turn by the 7/8 pole, and Pretty Gale sets the pace by just over a length from Katie Cat, who's shifting off the fence at this juncture. Tabianca 2.5 lengths away third. 1 in front of Lady of Peace. After 4 comes Tamise, and another 6 lengths last is True Ruby. Well strung out into the back stretch. The leader Pretty Gale by 1 from Katie Cat. 3 lengths to Lady of Peace, moving up third on the outside of Tabianca. About 5 further back to Tamise, and a similar margin to True Ruby. It's a solid pace along towards the half mile. Pretty Gale showing out by 1.5 lengths from, in second position, Katie Cat. And Lady of Peace third, looming up within a couple of lengths of the lead as they start to bunch a little bit up front. In fourth position, Tabianca, and 3 lengths further back to Tamise and 4 to True Ruby. They race through the murk and gloom to the 3/8 pole in the Bayou Breeders' Cup Handicap. Pretty Gale the leader, 3/4 on Katie Cat. They get a spurt on again, this leading pair. Suddenly they open up 4 lengths on Lady of Peace, and on her inside as they turn for home. Getting through there is Tabianca. Lady of Peace is starting to struggle as they pass the 3/16 pole, and Katie Cat now moves ahead of the early leader, Pretty Gale. Tabianca running third, Katie Cat with an 8th to go by 2 lengths. Pretty Gale is second, and 3 further back, Tabianca. Then Tamise, a 16th left to go, and Katie Cat's got the race won. Going strongly through the stretch to score by 3 lengths. Pretty Gale holds second, Tamise picks up third.
Katie Cat took to the going here. The track was fast, so the racing surface not a particularly uncomfortable one, but Katie Cat shows good speed, sits just off of Pretty Gale, settling off the leader, and shook clear very conveniently here at just the right time under a perfect ride. A beautifully timed effort for Robbie Alvarado. Pretty Gale holds on nicely for the second spot as the second choice in the wagering part of the entry, with Lady of Peace. Temis picking up the third spot with an off-the-pace rally. The winner, Katie Cat, is a daughter of Forest Wildcat, who had a terrific weekend of stakes racing for his offspring, picking up several major stakes races around the country. Forest Wildcat, the dam rather of Katie Cat, Combat Kate from Fit to Fight. This filly was bred in Florida by Luis de Echevarria, owned by Paul Saylor, Donna Moore, and Jean Voss, trained by Niall O'Callaghan. Katie Cat, ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado, completes the 1 1/8, the about distance of a 1 1/8 on the main track in 1:50.3. Big event on Sunday in New Orleans was the New Orleans Handicap at the fairgrounds. $500,000 for Grade 2 horses, 4-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8. Let's head back down to the fairgrounds for the running of the New Orleans Handicap.
Ready. Racing. Graham Hall away well. Keats are showing some speed with Fight for Ally, Lord Jim, Oak Hall and Valhall. They're followed by San Pedro, second last Kiss a Native and Parade Leader at the tail. A lap to go and Keats now goes to the front from a line of 4. Oak Hall on the inside of Graham Hall, Lord Jim, and wider out Fight for Ally. Oak Hall now taking back behind that trio is being passed by Valhall. Oak Hall now back about 4th last in front of San Pedro, Kiss a Native, and 5 lengths Parade Leader. Into the back stretch, it's Keats by 1.5 lengths to Fight for Ally and to neck Lord Jim on the rail. 2 lengths to Graham Hall, 2 to Oak Hall on the inside of Valhall. 2 lengths further back comes Kiss a Native on the inside of San Pedro, and Parade Leader 6 lengths last. At the 5/8 pole, it's Keats in front by 2 lengths. Fight for Ally second, Lord Jim third. 3 lengths to Graham Hall on the outside of Oak Hall. Valhall 2 lengths behind that pair and 7 off the pace. Followed by Kiss a Native. Parade Leader starting to go forward on the inside, tacking onto the bulk of the field, and San Pedro drops out last. The field covered by 11 lengths. And the leader as they make that second turn is Keats by 1.5 lengths on Fight for Ally. 2 lengths away, Oak Hall creeping closer on the inside. Lord Jim is with him and Graham Hall next on the outside, and the yellow cap looming up a joint second. Parade Leader coming into the picture, hunting through along the fence within 5 of the front. They're followed by Kiss a Native. Valhall's dropped out second last, and San Pedro whips them in. Keats turns for home, the leader in the New Orleans Handicap, a length and a half to Graham Hall, and Oak Hall in the red blinkers is next, and Parade Leader swings to the outside and is mowing them down. An 8th to go, and Parade Leader with a swashbuckling run on the outside sweeps away. From 6 lengths last in the early stages, Parade Leader scores a barnstorming win. Second, Graham Hall just in front of Keats. Oak Hall completes the superfecta.
Parade Leader, 5-year-old horse. Many of you here who follow New York racing may remember this horse from the beginning portion of his career. He started his career in New York. Beautifully bred colt, sired by King Mambo from Battle Creek Girl. Never really put it together, took a little bit of time to develop. In fact, had dropped into fairly low-level company for a horse of this pedigree, but has bounced back now at the age of 5, turning into a very nice horse last time out, running a very good second behind Valhall as that one prepped for this event. Valhall never showing much at all, dropping back in midway in the going and was quite dull, finishing only in front of San Pedro, who was distant. Parade Leader rallies from far off, advancing on the rail, steering 4 wide and drawing out by an easy 5+ lengths at almost 11-1 from the favored Graham Hall, coming in out of a disappointing effort in the Don. Keats picking up the 3rd spot after an early, very good early effort. He did clear the field early, but was not able to hold on as he was caught midway on the stretch. The winner, Parade Leader, 5-year-old bay son, as I said, of King Mambo from Battle Creek Girl by His Majesty, was bred in Kentucky by William S. Farish, E.J. Hudson Jr. Revocable Trust, and is owned by Mr. Farish and E.J. Hudson. Trained by Neil Howard, ridden to victory by Corey Lannery. Parade Leader completes the 1 1/8 of the New Orleans Handicap in 1:50.2. We are going to pause now for a brief message, and when we return, we'll be taking a look at stakes racing action from Oaklawn Park, Turfway, and heading west to Southern California. Please stay tuned.
Children and adults with disabilities are finding new freedom through horseback riding. For more information on programs and centers near you, contact NARA at 1-800-369-RIDE.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading to Oaklawn Park for split divisions of Saturday's Southwest Stakes, $75,000 for 3-year-olds going a flat mile. The race overfilled was split into 2 sections. Let's head down to Oaklawn Park and take a look at Division 1 of the Southwest.
They're in the gate, and they're off. Another sluggish beginning for contested. Meanwhile, middle of the track there goes Red and Rare rushing out there for the lead. Clergy there and King Zonic between the two of them. Private Emblem settles into 4th. Richest Half has the rail in 5th. Miss Me and Dusty Spike, and as he did last time, well back is contested. On the turn, it's King Zonic, Red and Rare, and they're going right after one another, and Clergy settled 4 lengths off them. The opening quarter like a sprint race, 22-1. Clergy now has settled in the 30s, 5 lengths in front of Private Emblem 4th. After that, it is Miss Me, along with Richest Half, followed by Dusty Spike. Contested is a good 20 lengths off of this rapid lead, which is right now being set by King Zonic, Red and Rare, and Clergy joining them now. They'll get past the half in 46 seconds flat. It's a good 7 lengths back then to Private Emblem in 4th, followed to the inside by Richest Half, Miss Me, then Dusty Spike and contested as they continue to the final turn. King Zonic, Clergy are right together. Rushing up on the outside now, here comes Dusty Spike. And it is Dusty Spike who makes a huge move on the turn to take command after 3/4 in 1:12.4. Here they come into the short stretch of the Southwest Stakes with Dusty Spike way out on the outside. Along the inside now, trying to make some room, that is Private Emblem. Dusty Spike leads it. Private Emblem moving up 2nd. Clergy's at the rail. Miss Me is next. 16 to go. Dusty Spike. Private Emblem on the inside, and Private Emblem gets up and scores the win by a half. Dusty Spike was 2nd, and Clergy ran 3rd.
Private Emblem, very impressive effort here, as last seen on the racetrack, winning on the turf at the fairgrounds in the Black Gold in January. Returns here with a terrific effort, unhurried inside early, made a nice move, an all-out 3/4 of a length victory at 4-1 under Donnie Mash. Dusty Spike, who was far back in the early going, rallied very nicely into the 2nd spot at almost 30-1, and Clergy, the favorite in the field, just under 2-1, picks up the 3rd spot. His first try in Stakes Company, he was 2 for 2, having won a maiden and allowance race, moved up here in class, and did certainly give a good account of himself. He was very close to the pace, made a bit of a move top of the stretch, but did end up faltering late. The winner, Private Emblem, is a dark bay or brown 3-year-old colt, a son of our emblem from Mary and Miss by Halo. He was bred in the state of New York by Berkshire Stud and Oak Cliff Stable. Very impressive New York bred here, now winning a 2nd time in Open Company Stakes Company. Certainly handled the mud very nicely. He has some pedigree to do so. Private Emblem is owned by James Cassels and Bob Zollers, trained by Steve Asmussen, ridden to victory by Donnie Mesh. Private Emblem completes the flat mile on a muddy race course in 1:40 and 1. We're going to be heading right back down to Oaklawn Park next for the second division of the Southwest. Once again, $75,000 for 3-year-olds going a flat mile. Let's head down to Oaklawn now for Division 2 of the Southwest.
And they're off.
Final race from Golden Gate.
And Kojat quickly breaks for the lead. He's going to be joined by Paloma Perea to the outside. Bay Monster's got the rail. Fisher Station 4th. Copeland Images 5th. Windward Passage 6th. Cash in Hand is 7th. Interminable Gold Trails. You move on the turn, and Kojat has taken command at the rail. Bay Monster in hand in second. Middle of the track is Paloma Perea. It's length and a half back to Gray. Fisher Station's 4th. 4 lengths off the lead. Copeland Images next. Then Windward Passage and Cash in Hand. Interminable Gold well back. Opening quarter 23 and 2. Pace a little bit more under control here. As Kojat staying well out in the middle of the track has got the lead. Inviting Bay Monster to come up to his inside. Calvin Burrell is going to go ahead and use the inside with Fisher Station. Paloma Perea is to the middle. Beginning to move up Cash in Hand and Windward Passage, along with Cope with an Image. And Interminable Gold content to wait far back after a half in 48 seconds. Kojat with the narrow lead. Along the outside, here comes Cope with an Image and Paloma Perea. Along the inside is Fisher Station, needing a little bit of running room. They move on the turn. Paloma Perea takes the lead. Cope with an Image to the outside. Kojat staying right with him. It's 2 lengths back then to Bay Monster and Fisher Station, Cash in Hand. They go past 3/4, 1:13 and 3. Here they come into the short stretch of the mile run. Paloma Perea, Cope with an Image, battle for the lead. Kojak drops down low now, trying to come back on. Bay Monster is 4th as they turn for home. Paloma Perea leading it. Cope with an Image to the outside. Here comes Cash in Hand on the extreme outside, but Paloma Perea leads at a half. Still trying to fight on his Cope with an Image as they drive for the wire. Paloma Perea, Cope with an Image. Paloma Perea digging in. It's Paloma Perea and Cash with an Image. Paloma Perea holds on and wins it, beating Cope with an Image.
Paloma Perea picking up a nice win here. A little bit of an upset here. The heavy favorite Kojat had been quite competitive with nice horses in his last couple, including Easy from the Get-Go and Skyward Passage. This time shows good speed and fades rather badly. Paloma Perea, who stalked off the pace early. Very nice trip here for a neck victory over Cope with an Image, with Windward Passage rallying from far back into the show spot. The winner, Paloma Perea, is a 3-year-old, Bay Colt, a son of Dove Hunt from Marty's Prospect by Allen's Prospect. Bred by Colts Limited in Maryland and owned by Barnett Stable, trained by Larry Robideau, and ridden to victory by James Lopez. Paloma Perea completes the 1 mile of the Southwest in 1:40 and 3 over a muddy racetrack. Next, we're going to be heading to Turfway for the running of the John Battaglia Memorial, $100,000 for 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. Let's head down to Turfway Park now for the running of the Battaglia.
And they're off. For the lead from the outside, that's Piston. Moving through from the inside, Thunder on Land. Then Sneaker, Mike, Private Horde, and Request for Parole on the rail. Into the first turn. Down along the inside, that's Sneaker, Mike. The outside, Thunder on Land, those two together. Gap of 2 to Piston, who runs 3rd ahead. Request for Parole runs 4th. Then it's Private Horde, followed by Lafitte. Length back to Perfect Drift and Benny the Hawk. 23 and 2 for the opening quarter. Thunder on Land, Sneaker Mike, they're together. Request for Parole runs 3rd. Piston is 4th. Private Horde runs 5th. Perfect Drift gains ground, then Lafitte. Benny the Hawk trails the half in 46 and 1. Thunder on Land with the lead. Gaining ground, Request for Parole on the outside. Then it's still Sneaker Mike, followed by Private Horde. Length back to Perfect Drift. Then a gap of 5. Piston is dropped back. Then Benny the Hawk and Lafitte. Into the stretch, Thunder on Land. Request for Parole. The entry 1-2 with Perfect Drift. Gaining ground on the rail. Now it's Request for Parole and Perfect Drift. Those two are right together. Perfect Drift on the inside, ahead in front. On the outside, Request for Parole. They're right together. Perfect Drift and Request for Parole. It's a photo. maybe request for parole over Perfect Drift, but it will take a photo.
Request for Parole as the favorite goes off as part of a favored odds-on entry, picks up a nose victory over Perfect Drift. These two horses have finished very close to one another in several starts. Thunder on Land, the entry mate of the winner, finishing in the third spot. Behind there, Benny the Hawk picking up the fourth spot. And because of the entry in here to complete the trifecta, they had all the way, or the superfecta, they had to go all the way back to fifth. They had a dead heat for fifth. All kinds of craziness in the payoffs, but Request for Parole, a very nice effort. This horse had run second last year to Repent in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. He is now 2 for 2 at the age of 3. He will probably get a little bit more of a class test next time out if they head on to the Spiral, which would appear to be the next spot for this 3-year-old, but certainly has done very little wrong in a very active career. Request for Parole is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown son of Judge T.C. from Madison's Quest by Deputy Minister. He was bred in Kentucky by Bob and B. Roberts. He is owned by Jerry and Sam Knighton, trained by Steve Margolis, and ridden to victory by Brian Peck. Request for Parole completes the mile and a 16th of the John Battaglia Memorial in 1:43 flat. We're going to be heading to the West Coast next for a pair of races from Santa Anita, beginning with Friday's running of the La Habra Stakes on the downhill turf course. It's 3-year-old fillies going the about distance of 6.5 furlongs. Let's head to Santa Anita now for the running of the La Habra.
Oh, where they go. Funhouse broke very fast from the outside gate. Your Final Answer came away well, so did None at All. Gold Sugar now coming through to get third. High Society on the extreme outside, and then comes Party Time. Dancing is right there on the inside. Caronay has the white cap, only 4 lengths separating all these runners. Then we come back to Anzar. Behind that comes Ash Becco's now giving them 10 length start, and another 3 back to Ann Bella. They have a half mile to go, and Your Final Answer is the leader. On the outside comes Gold Sugar. Those two flying. Caronay is now tucked in third on the inside. Funhouse is on the extreme outside. Then there's None at All. Party Time is only 3 lengths off the leaders. Then Dancing and High Society. Behind that comes Azal, who's got 8 to make up. Then we come back to Ash Bella, and Annabella is last. They get to the top of the lane. They're all bunched together. Caronay gets a dream run through at the rail if she's good enough. Caronay in the white cap down at the rail. Your Final Answer's running a huge one. Funhouse, yes, High Society on the grandstand side. Funhouse, High Society. Caronay did not go on. And High Society strikes the front and draws clear. And High Society, super impressive. High Society wins well. Funhouse was second. Azal got up for third. And Your Final Answer finished fourth.
High Society picking up a very impressive victory here by a length from off the pace. Irish-bred filly at 9-1, kind of an outsider in the wagering. She comes from way off the pace. Funhouse, who pressed in the early going, holds on for the second spot as Azal completes the order of the top 3 with a far off the pace rally. Your Final Answer, the early pace setter at 30-1, holds on for the 4th spot. The winner, High Society, is a 3-year-old daughter of Key of Luck from Ella's Gold by Ella Manamu. Bred in Ireland by Miss Mary Davison. She is owned here in the United States by Liberty Road Stable and San Gabriel Investments, trained by Laura Disseru, and ridden to victory by Brice Blanc. High Society completes the 6.5 furlongs on the downhill turf course in 1:12.4. Next, we're going to be taking a look at an allowance race from Saturday at Santa Anita. This is a $54,000 conditioned allowance race, 6 furlongs the distance, featuring the return of a couple of stakes-winning horses from last year. Let's head out to Santa Anita and take a look at this Saturday allowance race.
Oh, where they go. Broken a good line, then after the start first, Titanium stumbled. On the inside, we have the Wildcat, but now there goes Ombre Rapido, and Ombre Rapido opening up a length. On the outside comes Crafty CT in the 3rd spot, then back to first Titanium. McCord and Scuba is 6 off the leaders, and at the back, Dramatic Show. Past the half mile they go, and Ombre Rapido flying a length and a half in front. Crafty CT's taken second, to Wildcat right there third. First Titanium is 4 lengths off these leaders, and another 2 lengths back to Dramatic Show and McCord and Scuba. 3/8 to go, and Ombre Rapido strong on the lead, has it a length and a half to Crafty CT. De Wildcat is back in third. First Titanium losing ground, then McCord and Scuba and Dramatic Show. Coming to the top of the lane, Ombre Rapido, Crafty CT coming to tackle. De Wildcat back third, past the 8 they come, and Crafty CT now up alongside Ombre Rapido and taking the lead. And Crafty CT from here on in, it's just a matter of how far. Crafty CT stylishly cantering home, opens up 5. De Wildcat will come on for second, and Ombre Rapido finish third.
Crafty CT returns in very nice fashion here by 4 lengths, the better of De Wildcat, who was allowed to go off as the favorite here just over even money. Had not been seen since last year's running of the Swale. Early pace setter Ombre Rapido holds on for the 3rd spot. Crafty CT had spent most of last wintertime chasing Point Given out in Southern California, and you know, a pretty solid campaign out there. Did come up with an injury late in the winter last year, went to the sidelines, and seems to have come back for his 4-year-old campaign in very good form. Crafty CT, a 4-year-old chestnut son of Crafty Prospector from Adriana B. by Far North, was bred in Kentucky by Richard Castor et al., owned by C.T. Grether, and trained by Howard Zucker, ridden to victory by Chris McCarron. Crafty CT completes the 6 furlongs. It's the Santa Anita Allowance race, run as race number 4 on the card last Saturday in 109.1. We are going to pause now for one more brief message. When we return, we'll be finishing up with the stakes program from the weekend at Santa Anita, heading back home to New York, and then taking a look at a special overseas event. Please stay with us.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. The Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope, creating opportunities where once there were none. The TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. Next, we're going to be heading out to Santa Anita and completing the stakes program for the weekend, starting with the San Rafael, a grade 2 at a mile for the 3-year-olds, many of them trying 2 turns for the first time. Let's head out to Santa Anita now for the running of the San Rafael.
Deal for the San Rafael sent on their way. They all came out smoothly. Came Home is very fast into stride with Werblin from the inside gate, and now there goes Ocean Sound up to take the 3rd spot. Easy Grades in the black colours from the outside gate is forced to go a little wide. They're going very fast early on. Fonzas is only 4 lengths off them. Cottonwood Cowboys on the inside, and Palea Rojo is last, 8 off the leaders. Past the 3/4 pole they go, and Werblin ensures a fast pace, leads at a length and a quarter. Came Home is in second, and Ocean Sound tucked in third. On the far side, Easy Grades is going to have to go wide throughout, but he's only 2 lengths off the leader now. Fonzas is in the 5th spot. Cottonwood Cowboy at the back of the leading group, and then there's a gap of 4 back to Palea Rojo. They make their way to the half-mile in the San Rafael, and Werblin is the leader. Came Home is keeping the pressure on the outside, and even Ocean Sound has room at the rail. 3 of them all keeping the pressure on one another as they go into the far turn. Fonzas is in the 4th position. Then we come back to Easy Grades in 5th. Now 5 off them. Cottonwood Cowboys losing ground. Palea Rojo still has 9 to make up. They approach the quarter pole, Werblin, but Came Home. Chris McCarron just took a confident look back there, and here comes Came Home. Still got his ears cocked too, and Came Home now strikes the front and kicks for home. Werblin, Ocean Sound is next, and then Fonzas. An 1/8 of a mile to go, and Came Home stretches his neck out and in full flight for the wire now. And Came Home, another classy performance this afternoon. Came Home and Chris McCarron easy in the San Rafael. Easy Grades coming on late to beat Werblin out of second. Then Ocean Sound, Palea Rojo, Fonz, and Cottonwood Cowboy.
Came Home, very impressive winner last time out, returns with another nice effort here, picking up his first 2-turn victory. He only had not given this a try, despite having been one of the better 2-year-olds last year, having stretched out last year in good company at the Breeders' Cup, where he obviously was only running 1 turn at Belmont Park. heavy favorite here, draws off by 3. Easy Grades rallies from far off the pace into the second spot, with Werblin, the pace setter, holding on for the third spot down inside, but he is starting to look like a colt who may be limited in his ability to go on in terms of distance. The winner came home, a dark bay or brown 3-year-old son of Gone West from Nice SA by Clever Trick, was bred in Kentucky by John Toffin, and Trudy McCaffrey, ridden to victory, or owned by Bill Farish, Mr. Farish, Bill Farish, John Goodman, and Trudy McCaffrey and John Toffin, trained by Paco Gonzalez, and ridden to victory by Chris McCarron. Came home completes the distance of a flat mile in 1:36.1. Next, we're going to be heading on to the turf course for the Frank E. Kilroe Mile, Grade 2 event. 3-year-olds and up, 4-year-olds and up, actually going for a $300,000 purse, flat mile at Santa Anita's turf course. Let's head out to Santa Anita now for Trevor's call of the Kilroe Mile.
Gates closed. Field for the Frank Kilroe Mile sent on their way. Spineless Jellyfish towards the inside. Design for Luck came away well. Malabar Gold now setting off to lead them. Night Patrol is in the vanguard too. Dakachi dropping over into 5th position. Then comes Thady Quill. Behind that, Irish Prize. Followed by Sarafan, who's a good 8 off these leaders. Stratton is tugging very hard back 3rd last. Val Royale 2nd last, and No Slip as the trailer. They run past the 3/4 pole, and Malabar Gold takes them along by a length and 3/4. Win quick early, but slowed them down a little now. In the 2nd position is Night Patrol, then Design for Luck. Spineless Jellyfish right there in 4th, and Dakachi is 5th, been followed by Sarafan. Thady Quill is in mid-pack, 5 off the leaders. Then it's Irish Prize. Val Royal, quite content to just skim the rails, 7 lengths off these leaders. No Slip is pulling pretty hard back 2nd last, and Stratton still hasn't really relaxed, has dropped back last. Past the half-mile pole they go, and Malabar Gold is the leader. Night Patrol 2nd, Design for Luck right there in 3rd. Then Spineless Jellyfish and Dakachi's in the 5th position, been followed by Sarafan, who's now 6 off the leaders. Then Thady Quill. Irish Prize in the blue has 8 to make up. Val Royale far back with Stratton and No Slip. They get to the top of the lane. Malabar Gold, Design for Luck up to take him on. Dakachi's back in 3rd. Down on the inside, Night Patrol, then Spineless Jellyfish. They come for home. Design for Luck on the outside. Dakachi, Sarafan, Val Royale flying late down at the rail. Sarafan, Design for Luck. Dakachi wins it ahead. Sarafan, Design for Luck, and Val Royale.
Dakachi picking up a nice win here. This is this I believe is his first graded stakes win. I could be wrong, but he picks up a neck victory over Sarafan, who was running very solidly into the stretch under Corey Nakatani at 15-1. A close finish. Designed for Luck, another head back. Val Royal just a neck back as the 4 of them crossed the finish line together. Val Royal was the favorite in this field. He did have a couple of setbacks in preparing for this race. His return this season, he did have a fever, missed a work or two. It was announced that this race is intended to be a prep by Julio Kanani for a try in Dubai in a couple of weeks. So whether or not he was completely ready for this event is not necessarily, it's not, of course it's pointless now, but he may not have been at his very best. But Dakachi obviously pointing for this race and picking up a nice effort under Kent Desormeaux, perfectly timed ride to get up late for the victory. The winner, Dakachi, is a 5-year-old bay horse, a son of Distant View from Tussaud by El Gran Senor, making him a half to Honest Lady and Chester House. I apologize, this horse Dakachi did in fact win the Tanforan last out, so he is a graded stakes, was a graded stakes winner heading into this race. He was bred in Kentucky by Juddmont Farm. He's owned by Juddmont Farm and trained by Bobby Frankel. Ridden to victory by Kent Desormeaux, Dakachi completes the 1-mile distance on the firm turf course in 1:34 flat. Next, it's the Big Cap Santa Anita Handicap, $1 million 10-furlong event, Grade 1 for 4-year-olds and up. Let's head out to Santa Anita for Trevor's call of the Big Cap.
Goes in, gates closed, all set for the Santa Anita Handicap. And away they go. Future All in the white blinkers broke beautifully in the center and goes up to lead them. Now Western Pride crosses over from the outside gate, and there goes Sky Jack on the inside to show early speed as well. Fancy As is racing in just behind the leading group. Up alongside of that comes Giant Gentleman, who's gone up to race in third. Dig for It, showing good speed today, is right there, 6. In behind that comes Yuka, Irish Eyes are flying, Milwaukee Brew and Kudos are next. Then we come back to Freedom Crest. Cagney is back third last, giving them a good 12-length start. In behind that comes Last Parade and Sane as last. They run to the three-quarter pole, and Western Pride ensures a good pace out on the lead. In second comes Sky Jack. Giant Gentleman travelling nicely in third. 2 lengths off these leaders, and Fancy As is nice and relaxed in fourth. Future All is in fifth. 4 lengths off the leaders. 3 back to Euchre and Dig for It. Irish Eyes are flying, is giving them 10-length start. Then Milwaukee Blue, Kudos alongside of that. Freedom Crest racing on the outside of that trio. Cagney now having to be sent along, not responding at this stage. Last Parade is on the outside of him, and Sane is a good 15 off the leaders. Into the far turn they go in the big cap, and it's still Western Pride the leader. Giant Gentleman is right there. Fancy As running a good one. Here's Kudos and Freedom Crest making good ground. Kudos coming home nicely from fourth. Future All did not fire today. Irish Eyes are flying is next, and then Milwaukee Brew turning for home in the big one, and it's Western Pride still leading by a length. Giant Gentleman up to take him on from second. Kudos on the outside. Fancy As is next. Milwaukee Brew now coming out of nowhere, and here's Milwaukee Brew in the white cap, and he's just going right on by all of them, and Milwaukee Brew strikes the front with a 16th to go, and Milwaukee Brew and Kent DeSormo flying home to win the big cap. Milwaukee Brew by 4. Western Pride, Kudos, then Giant Gentleman, then came Cagney. Irish Eyes are flying. Fancy As, Last Parade and Sane. Freedom Crest, Dig for It. Future All was third last. Behind that came Yuka, and last was Sky Jack.
Milwaukee Brew, and who else? Kent DeSormo picking up another win. Horse sat off the pace and made a huge move. It was interesting as Trevor Calling at the top of the stretch said he came from nowhere, and he did seem to appear out of absolutely nowhere at the top of the stretch with a big 4-length win here over Western Pride, who did all the hard work setting out the early fractions, holding on for a neck victory over Kudos to pick up the place spot. Giant Gentleman, the 4-year-old who had been quite competitive, trying hard against Miz and Mast in his last pair, picking up the 4th spot after running forwardly placed throughout the early going. The winner, Milwaukee Brew, is a 5-year-old bay son of Wild Again from Ask Anita by Wolf Power, bred in Kentucky by Robert Spiegel. He is owned by Stronach Stable and trained by Bobby Frankel. Ridden to victory by Kent DeSormo, Milwaukee Brew completes the 10 furlongs, the 1.25 miles in 2:01 flat. One more stakes race left at Santa Anita this weekend. The San Carlos, a 7-furlong Grade 1 sprint, $150,000 on offer for 4-year-olds and up. Let's head back out to Santa Anita for the running of the San Carlos.
And away they go. Snow Ridge begins very smoothly from the outside gate, and Snow Ridge immediately opening up 2 lengths. Stormy Jack is racing up into the second spot. Ali Zeg is right there third. Down at the rail comes Hasty Chris alongside Grey Memo, and C-Band has taken to the back, but only 4 lengths would cover them all. They come to the 5/8, and Snow Ridge got it all his own way out here, going comfortably for a 7-furlong race. Just leads them just over a length to Ali Zig and Stormy Jack, who are now going to put some pressure on the leader. Then we come back to Hasty Chris and C-Band down at the rail. There's only 3 lengths separating those 5, and another 3 to Grey Memo. Into the turn they go, and Snow Ridge still going comfortably, getting a little pressure from Ali Zig. Those 2 now go clear by 2. Then back to C-Band and Hasty Chris are joined third. Stormy Jack is 5th, got 4.5 to make up, and another 3 to Grey Memo. They're approaching the quarter pole, and Snow Ridge continues to lead them. Ali Zig running a game 1 on the outside. 3 back comes Hasty Chris and Stormy Jack, then C-Band. They come for home, and Snow Ridge still got a lot of run left in him. He's going on gamely. Snow Ridge, Ali Zig gradually giving up the chase second. Grey Memo running on late on the outside, but Snow Ridge a commanding lead, and Snow Ridge a convincing winner of the San Carlos. Snow Ridge and Mike Smith by 2. Ali Zig a very game second. Grey Memo third, then Stormy Jack, C-Band and Hasty Chris.
Snow Ridge, I would have to say that this horse has pretty much put himself in the top spot in the sprinters in the United States, certainly out in the West Coast, although we haven't really had much in the way of graded stakes sprinting outside of Florida in the East, and looks like San Carlos at this point has got to be considered the #1 guy, having beaten Squirtle Squirt last time out. This time a 1.5 victory over the late coming Ali Zig, who made up a little bit of ground late. Nice effort by this horse, who was involved early and at the longest shot on the board at almost 20-1. Gray Memo rallies from off the pace, as is his usual running style, into the 3rd spot. The winner, Snow Ridge, is a 4-year-old chestnut colt, a son of Tabasco Cat from Snow Forest by Woodman. Bred in Kentucky by Mount Brilliant Farm and owned by Overbrook Farm, trained by D. Wayne Lucas. This colt began his career going long. His pedigree would indicate that he would probably be better going a little bit longer, but he certainly has taken very well to the sprint game, was able to get away with relatively slow fractions for his quality, 23.13 and 45.46, and held on very, very nicely here. Ridden to victory by Mike Smith, Snow Ridge completes the 7 furlongs of the San Carlos in 1:22 flat. We're heading back home to New York next for the running of the Busher, $75,000 for 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/16. Let's head down to New York for John Imbrial's call of the Busher.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Bema broke well. Cobblestone Road is right there. It's Beamer and Cobblestone Road. Dancing Blues in 3rd. At the rail is Sideways, and in between horses, Lavesh. The field moves for the clubhouse turn. It's Cobblestone Road, who now leads by a head. Bema right there at the rail in 2nd. Then comes Dancing Blues in 3rd. Lavesh took the turn a bit wide. At the rail is Sideways. The opening quarter, 24-3. Cobblestone Road setting the pace here and leading by almost a length. Bema is 2nd by a 1.5 lengths. Then it's the trio of Lavesh, Dancing Blues, and Sideways. They're midway up the backstretch in the Busher. Cobblestone Road continues to lead. The favorite, Bema, right alongside now in 2nd. It's 2 lengths to Sideways and Dancing Blues. Lavesh, the trailer now in 5th. The half was run in 49-2. There goes Bema now to put ahead in front of Cobblestone Road. Bema, short lead. Cobblestone Road at the rail. Sideways is racing in 3rd. Farther back, Dancing Blues, and way back is Lavesh. They're at the top of the stretch. 3/4 in 1:13-4. Bema has the lead. Sideways on the outside. It's Bema in front with 1/8 mile to the finish. Sideways in 2nd. Cobblestone Road back running in 3rd. A 16th to the wire, and it will be Bema to win the Busher. She won it by 3. Sideways 2nd. Cobblestone Road was 3rd.
Bema picking up her first stakes victory. Bema, a daughter of Pulpit, one of the earliest pulpits to begin their careers last year. Did pick up an allowance last fall, but had been having some trouble. They added Lasix last time out. She improved a little bit. They put blinkers on her for this start, and she was very impressive, drawing away by 3 1/4 lengths as the odds-on choice from Longshot Sideways, who had run a little bit of a disappointing try last time out against Bema in allowance company. Cobblestone Road, the early pace setter, holds on for a nice effort, finishing 3rd after being involved in the early pace. She was no match for the eventual winner. The winner, Bema, a 3-year-old Gray or Roan daughter of Pulpit, is produced by DACA by Icecapade, bred in Kentucky by the Respite Farm and owned by Claiborne Farm and Adele Dill Schneider. Trained by Shug McGahee, ridden to victory by Javier Castellano, Bema completes the 1 1/16 of the Busher in 1:45-4. Next, we have a special overseas event for you, the running of the Barbados Gold Cup last Saturday from the Garrison Savannah Racetrack in Barbados. This is $100,000 American. It is for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8 miles. A couple of American horses down there, including Airy Hill, who broke his maiden here at Saratoga, and Worley, both representatives of the Melnick operation. Also in here, Blast of Storm, who has won this race for the last 2 years. Let's head down to Barbados now for the running of the Sandy Lane Barbados Gold Cup.
But from all reports, she's a great horse. I think she's just a bit overshadowed.
And they're off. Nicodemus toward the inside quickly gets away. Nicodemus is at the inside, drawing off now to lead the early pack by a length and a quarter. Skeets Bay is in second position, hugging the rail. That's Another Decision, who's racing third as they race past the stands for the first time. Nicodemus leads it by a length and a quarter. Skeets Bay with the black cap on the outside. Another Decision is right there. Airy Hill and Worley is in tight quarters. Had to push his way through between horses. Wahoo is toward the inside next as they round the turn and race to the backstretch. It's Nicodemus showing the way by a little more than a length. And Another Decision on the outside second. Blast of Storm has moved up on the inside to be a close-up third. Worley on the outside is gaining ground, but he's 3 wide. After that, it's the filly. Talk about lucky. And then in the middle of the racetrack, Airy Hill is gaining just a bit of ground. They move to that far turn, and they're just about 2.5 furlongs for home, and Worley takes command. It's Worley showing the way by 3 parts of a length. Nicodemus, the early pace setter, dropping back, and here comes the defending champion, Blast of Storm, charging up as they move to the top of the stretch. What a horse race in the Barbados Gold Cup. Blast of Storm, trying to win this race 3 times in a row, is at the neck of Worley on the outside. Noses apart with less than a furlong to the finish, and down the stretch they come. Blast of Storm, the strong horse on the outside. Worley coming back. Worley on the inside. Blast of Storm gets him. Whoa, it's a tremendous finish, but Blast of Storm outdueled Worley to the final wire.
And it is Blast of Storm and rider Jonathan Jones picking up a nice win. Worley made a huge move, what looked like a winning move under Pat Husbands, but was not able to hold off the charge of Blast of Storm. Did re-rally a little bit. Talk about Lucky, who had a little bit of a difficult trip, perhaps an unlucky trip, picking up the 3rd spot with a bit of a belated move. The winner, Blast of Storm, has now won this race 3 consecutive years. He is an Irish-bred son of Perugino from Key Partner. He is owned by Mrs. Sally Arbib and trained by Bill Marshall. Ridden to victory by Jonathan Jones. Blast of Storm completes the 1 1/8 in a record-tying time of 1:48.3. That wraps up our look back at this past weekend stakes racing action. We hope you'll be able to join us next week for Horses and Courses, when, amongst other things, we will have Grade 1 racing from Santa Anita and the Santa Anita Oaks and the Santa Margarita Invitational. We'll also have the Stymie from here in New York, the Fairgrounds Oaks, and the Louisiana Derby from the Fairgrounds down at Gulfstream Park, the Gulfstream Sprint Championship, and the Creme Fraiche Stakes. So should be another busy weekend next week. We hope you'll be able to join us. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm Jean Wood, and I'll see you back here next time.